Hello, everybody. This is Kenny Commons here of Chilling with Kenny C, right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. And for this interview, winding down the month of September, I'm very excited to be joined with a female-led band out of Wisconsin. They've been traveling, they've been on the road for most of this year. They got some awesome music. I got at least two members of that incredible band, the Almas. They're with me right now. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Good to be here.
Great to have you both on here. At least two-thirds of y'all.
Yeah,
And
the
so
third one actually had to fly out for a wedding, so he's not with us.
Yep.
gotcha. So congrats to this soon-to-be married couple and that band member supporting friend, family member, loved one. So that's pretty cool. That's understandable. Uh, so introduce yourselves. You we're gonna do a roll call here. Just state your name and what role you play in the band. Who wants to go first?
All right. Well, I'm Crystal Teglin, the lead vocalist.
And I'm Frank Slifkin. I'm the lead guitarist.
All right, so it's great to have y'all here. So talk about this year y'all have had. Y'all been on the road. Y'all put out a lot of music. How would of course, we just still a few months remaining, and there's still much to do, obviously, but how would you describe your 2024 up to this point?
A crazy roller coaster.
Chaos.
It has been chaotic,
Pure chaos.
but it's also been pretty incredible to us. We were fortunate enough to go over to the UK for the first time. We hit the recording studio again with six brand new songs coming at everybody next year. So 2025 is looking already to be a really fun time because of all that we've been able to accomplish here in 2024.
Yeah, we went on a cruise.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels so long ago, and it was like a week and a half, two
Yeah,
weeks ago.
we were on a cruise. We were in the Bahamas. We got to play on the cruise ship, and it was tons of fun, man. It's just been wild, you know. And it's been like nonstop too. Um, yeah, this whole year, basically since January, it's just been go, 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 go. And yeah, just chaos, just crazy.
So you mentioned the cruise. Y'all got to perform at a cruise.
Yeah.
Uh,
At least while the weather was still looking good. Um, Man, that had to be. See, obviously, we perform in venues, outdoors and indoors. But man, I feel like it hits different when I hit the stage at a cruise and
Hmm.
it definitely does.
the big crowd and the water in the background and just everybody swimming and man, that hits different. Like, just how would you describe that experience having? Because obviously, like you give it your all regardless, but it feels like it just takes it to a whole nother level when you're performing that cruise. How would you describe that experience?
Well, it was we actually so everyone pretty much we started playing when the cruise ship was
The
leaving
doc.
the dock there, leaving the port. So as we're playing, the cruise ship is moving, man. So you're like, it was wild. I caught myself during the show just like watching the city go by and like as we're leaving. It was wild. It was
Yeah.
cool.
And fun fact, Frank is actually not good with motion. He gets motion sickness pretty easily, but it was the rest of us that were feeling uncomfortable while we were moving and playing. And Frank's just over there watching out the window,
Yeah.
feeling all happy. He's like, this is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to you, Frank. You more brave than most.
Oh,
Uh,
No.
I'm not sure if I've ever been to a ship in my life, but if I did, I'm not sure if I want to look into the water. I'm not sure if I want to look at just see it. Okay, it's one thing for it to move, but when you're out and about and you see it moving, and I don't know, it just makes you feel some kind of way, and then vomit starts to come out or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just you handled it like a champ though. You handled it just the fact that he was performing. under the circumstances, like rock music in general, you have to go through some circumstances.
Yeah.
One way or
Yeah.
another.
Hmm.
I mean, it's rock music. There's nothing like rock music. Like I feel like only in rock music you perform in those circumstances. You don't get that with other genres. That's just my perspective anyway.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, that had to be a lot of fun.
it
Uh,
was.
so um, so with the you mentioned the music, I want to talk about the song that got my attention. The song that got me playing, um, this Lifeline song. That was the song. So little me, I like to just prance around the internet and see who's out there. Um, for my playlist in particular, I like to even the playlist out, like have male led vocals and then female led vocals. And I said that the Almas, okay, let me look into them. That's a female led band. That counts. So I played life and then I played Lifeline and I was blown away. I was
Well,
blown
thank you.
away with the song, with your voice, with the energy that the song had. It's such a dope song. And just so it gets me hyped just thinking about it. Talk a little bit about that song. How did it came to be for Lifeline?
Yeah, well, that song definitely hit at a perfect point for us. Um, it was through kind of an emotional season in all of our lives as a band, and having a song just about reaching out and knowing that you're not alone, you don't have to do it alone, was actually just very fitting because we're one of those where we'll work under pressure pretty well, but when there's a lot going on, sometimes it's hard to forget that we don't have to go that path by ourselves. And so, Lifeline, for me, is my favorite that came out of that studio session. It was the first song, I believe, that we wrote with our producer Kyle
Yeah.
Odell
Yep.
in that 5 track EP that we did. So that was the first one, but it's towards the end of our releases on there. So we just wanted to hold on to it for a special amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. When we recorded that record, we had brought in a couple songs, right? And we recorded one, and then Kyle, our producer, was like, he's basically gonna let us record one, and he's gonna throw us for a loop on all the rest of them. And so that
Yeah.
basically that whole EP we wrote in the studio, he basically made us scrap all the songs we walked in with. And so this was the first batch. That this was the first song that we ever wrote, just in the studio, in the moment, with like nothing. Like we had no ideas of guitar riffs or lyrics or anything. So really put on the spot for that one. And ever since then, that's kind of how we just record it right now. But that was the very first song that
Yeah,
came
it was
out of the new writing process
Yeah,
too.
new challenge for us because we've always been like that garage band style. We write at band practice and we go into the studio and we record what we
Yeah,
wrote and that's that. But this time, Kyle was real with us and he pulled us aside and he was like, "I don't hear who the Almas are in your music up to this point." And he was like, "If it's okay with you guys, I wanted to help you discover who the Almas are."
yeah.
And so from that point on, then we wrote Lifeline, and so that's kind of like our little diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
Coming.
it's the first song that when we decided to kind of redefine our music and everything. So Lifeline is that first song. That's kind of started the whole new sound of the Almas, I guess.
So what I like about your exclamation is that it's definitely relatable, not just to the listener, but for y'all in particular, considering this is the life that y'all chose, that's just what y'all going through. And although you go through adversity, you don't have to deal with it alone. And with y'all being part of a band, like everybody's in it together. We're gonna whatever we go through it together, and
Absolutely.
and that's what it takes to make it not just in music, but just in life in general.
Yeah,
And it's a family thing now. Obviously,
For sure.
like anything else, y'all drive each other crazy at times. That's just the norm. But at the end of the day, y'all here for one another, and y'all here to put out this music and to live out this dream, and to just to change to make a difference out there, just to show that hey, this is independent music that y'all doing, and it's coming from y'all, and that's what resonates with me. I've been advocate for independent music for a long time, and I drawn to it more than mainstream for a very very long time. And when I heard Lifeline, I was like, man, it hit me somewhere. It really did. Like that's something that I can just pass on to somebody that could be into this music that y'all presented. So I was left very satisfied with this song, and it's definitely one of the favorite rock tunes I've ever heard all year.
Oh, well,
oh, well,
thank
thank
you.
you.
That's so
Hey,
kind.
we must be doing something right, I guess.
I mean, yeah, there y'all go, just making a statement one day at a time.
Mhm.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
So, with that being said, you mentioned a little bit earlier, y'all have been working on some new tunes. With that being said, any chance that we might get maybe another song here and there before year's end, or y'all holding it off to 2025? Like, what's next for y'all as it pertains to releasing new music this year?
Well, we do have one more to wrap up this year, so that should be coming out still in 2024. But definitely 2025's got new music coming as
Yeah,
well.
this is the song we're going to be releasing is the last song off of our current EP, which is Life Jacket. Um, and we were doing like a crowd-led music video. We took a lot of footage from our past tours this year. We're going to put it all together in a cumulative music video. Just kind of sort of, it's like a thank you to the fans and everything, and kind of show our yearly story. So we're going to wrap it up with that, I think. And then, like Crystal said, then next year we're going to start releasing all the new record that we just did. So,
All right, definitely excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. So, Crystal, this question is pertains to you. Now,
Okay.
obviously, in rock music, there's been so many talented female artists, female-led bands that's really put out some incredible music over the course. Now, obviously, with music, it could be male dominant, and then it feels like the woman in particular have to work twice as hard just to get that respect. I've always feel like the woman works just as hard as the men do. I feel like they should deserve the same equal opportunities that the male does. From your perspective, like how do you feel as a female in music, especially in rock music, just going through everything, the ups and downs and everything? How you feel just going through that experience as a musician?
Yeah. I mean, the only times I've ever really felt excluded being, the fact that this band is female fronted is we have had a couple people comment that, oh, this would be really fantastic if only like it was a male singing for the band, or, yeah, we'll definitely have you at this venue when we have a female fronted band to put you with, and some of that kind of stuff. But for the most part, though, that's so few and far between. People have their preferences, and, some people just won't like the band for the fact that I'm singing for them. But at the same time, we have a lot of people that are just like, you know what? Like, it's just good music. And we have a really cool community in the rock scene that, I'm just happy that I can be along with the ride for these guys.
Well, let me just say, whoever's not booking y'all must be smoking. I mean, like, music is music at the end of the day. If they sound good, if they fit the type of music that y'all have in your venues, I don't see what's the problem. Like, it's good music at the end of the day. We in 2024, going into 2025 within a few months, and you still got these venue owners, business owners that think the way that they think. Now, obviously, people want to use the preference thing. I get it, but then there's people that just want to say, "Oh, we ain't gonna play y'all." Like, people are just so inconsiderate. I feel like, heck, if I had a venue, I'm putting y'all on there, and we'll just
Well,
figure out who
thank
else.
you.
We'll just figure out who else. I'll just put some madness into it. So, and y'all have a definitely unique sound, and this is a question I love to ask bands in particular. As far as music influences, like who are some, whether it's solo acts or full length bands, who are some of your musical influences? Those that have inspired whether you as an individual or y'all collectively as a band.
Oh, well, I guess we can start with like what influences us personally,
Yeah.
and we can talk about what influenced us for the record. We'll do that because
Yeah.
they're different.
Yeah.
For me, I grew up on like old school, like oldies, like 50s and 60s, so the old school rock and roll doo-wop kind of stuff. And my guitar playing really stems from the 80s. So I'm heavily influenced by most stuff in the 80s, like Poison, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, huge influence for me when it comes to my guitar playing, and just the way I approach my tone and stuff really stems from a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, I grew up listening to a lot of like hair metal if I was with my mom, and then like country when I was with my dad. So when I finally got to choose my own channel, I was always like Blondie or Taylor Swift. But granted, AC/DC definitely was one that I would choose to listen to a lot. My mom would convince us to clean the house while listening to an AC/DC live VHS tape. So it was definitely a one that I preferred over my dad's country with love to him. But yeah, so that would definitely be the weird hodgepodge. I listen to everything almost. So
Yeah, and so in the new record, me personally, I've been listening to a lot more country lately. Not usually my preferred preference of music, but I've been getting into it a little more. And then we also incorporate a lot of pop. We listen to a lot of independent pop artists too. So we want to incorporate some of that into the new record. Um, what else? Falling in Reverse,
yeah, falling in reverse a lot.
not for some breakdowns and some other things. Um, it
Nickelback.
yeah,
It was
lots of
a
Nickelback.
Nickelback's a pretty heavy influence.
Yeah,
I don't know. Say what you will, everybody has an opinion on Nickelback, but I love those riffs.
yep, and they sell records, so
Can't deny the numbers from Nickelback
yeah.
in particular. Like they were big and they had a huge following and they had big tours. They were doing it, you know, and it seems like they get criticized more for the music than they do as individuals. And I never really got to know them as individuals. I just keep hearing about their music, good or bad. I'm like, okay, well, they still work. They had hits.
Yeah, but
I think that they didn't hurt nobody. They didn't commit no crimes. They didn't say anything derogatory, at least to my knowledge. So I'm
yeah,
like, as long as
no,
they selling hits songs, then as long if they're not hurting you personally, then I mean, yeah,
exactly.
but that's just how people operate. Crystal, I'm a fellow unicorn myself. I have listened to I guess that's the proper term. Um,
Okay.
so I listened at a young age. I was a hip hop head. I'm still am. But as the times go by, I've listened to Bach. pop, country, Americana, bluegrass, folk, and that's kind of inspired the whole music Monday jukebox thing. Because I know a lot of artists from different genres, and I'm like, let me just these artists deserve to be heard. If these big name radio promotions won't play these independent artists, then I will. I may not be as big as them, but at least I can give them some ears to somebody because I know some people that listen to a variety of music. As it pertains to the mainstream side, like as far as rock, I listen to 80s. I mean, I would argue with anybody like nobody beats the 90s. The 90s
Mhm.
decade hits different. I was into the corn, the Limp Biscuits, the new metal
Oh,
Hell yeah.
sound. I was into it, and I'm very curious what this new look Linkin Park is going to look like with the female. I don't hate her. Let me just be clear. I don't hate her.
Yeah.
Um, Look, Chester meant so much to so many people, and he still does. But hey, we've seen people moved on from previous band members, whether it's a death or just different lineups or creative differences. Linkin Park, the remaining members feel like they're ready to move forward, and to their credit, they have supported this lady since she's been there, and they're gonna go with her. And either the
yeah.
die-hard Linkin Park fans can just live with it or don't. But they're gonna do. But props to them for just moving forward. That's all they can do. Like Chester's
Yep.
not coming back, so they're gonna
Hmm.
Yeah.
support. They're gonna support this lady. So and I wish her well. She seems very nice. So and her voice is different. It's a different feel to
Yeah.
what we're accustomed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
we've actually been big fans of Dead Sarah. That's where and that's Emily's band. Big fans of Dead Sarah for the longest time. So when I saw that she was singing in Lincoln Park, I was like, oh no shit. I was mind blown. I'm like, holy crap! So I was all for it,
Yeah.
and I agree with you. The band's got to move on. They got their own careers and their own lives and their own dreams that they still have to fulfill, and you can't knock them for that. I'm excited that they're writing new music, they're moving on, and we can always appreciate the Chester years
Yeah.
and enjoy them. They
Yeah,
never
those songs will
change.
always live
Yeah,
forever. So those songs aren't going
yeah,
anywhere. And if people aren't in it for, Emily's vocals on a Linkin Park track, then, you don't have to continue listening to them. But I think it's cool that they're able to have somebody that, does have that power in her voice to put that same emotion into
yeah.
it, the music that we're used to with Linkin Park, but not trying to have someone sound like Chester,
Right.
So they're honoring him by going into a different era. They're honoring themselves by continuing on with the stuff that they love to do, which is make music.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's so drastically different, you have a female lead now
Yeah.
versus Chester. I mean, I don't know what male vocalist you could have put in there that people would be happy with.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really, it's never going to be Chester. No one's ever going to fill those shoes. So
Oh
here
no.
it's like, well, let's just go the complete opposite direction and try this. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
so I think it's
And
cool. I don't know.
I've always liked Mike Shinoda.
Oh yeah.
I like them as a hip hop artist. I even like some of his solo stuff. I like
Hmm.
the Collision Course with Jay-Z, and I like the Fort Minor record.
Yup. Everyone
Um,
forgets about
that that
Fort Minor.
status
Yeah,
Fort Minor record is so underrated
I
and
know.
just an incredible record. So, you know, I mean, that's, the fact that they go on a different route and that her voice is completely different. It's not like she's yelling or screaming or anything like that. It's just her sound. So
Hmm.
it's it's gonna take time for people to get used to,
Sure.
but they have to move on.
Yep.
So yeah. So I see I got some shows coming up, one in Jacksonville and one in Baltimore, and that just so happens to be this coming weekend, ending your September at least. So talk
Yeah.
about these shows y'all got coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we're very excited for this Friday is our very first time ever in Jacksonville, North Carolina. We've been in Wilmington for some shows, but we've never played Hooligans here in Jacksonville. So we're very excited to finally step foot on the stage there.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a fun time. And then Baltimore, that's just our stomping grounds. That's become a home away from home for us there at Zen West. So we're excited to go, and I believe it's a full kind of festival type thing. So it starts at 3 p.m. and it goes all the way, I think, until around midnight.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot of acts that day, and
yeah, a lot of music.
that's one of our favorite places to play. Like Chris said, it's our old call it our stomping grounds or like our home away from home, and we feel it's very fitting that we're ending this whole cycle of songs there because a lot of songs we're playing set lists are from even our previous albums, and so this is the last time we're going to play those older songs completely. So next year brings in a whole new set, a whole new everything. So it's fun to wrap it up here with a bunch of friends, and yeah, it's gonna be good. We're excited.
Good times.
Hmm.
All right, so go check them out. Jacksonville and Baltimore this weekend. For more info, check out their website, almastheband.com. Check out Lifeline, the latest single. That is available on all streaming platforms. Please support independent music, y'all. It's a lot of good talent, not just in your city, but there's a lot of good indie out acts everywhere. You just have to look around. People, you got Spotify, you got all these apps, you got all this Google, you got all that to your arsenal. Use it. Don't just use it for mumble jumble stuff. Just use it. You just use it. Be resourceful. That's what I'm saying. Uh, it is great to have you all on here on this interview. Thank you so much for your time. Now,
Yeah, thanks
2020,
for having us.
Yeah, we need more people like you out there, man, supporting the independent artists. We really appreciate all that you do, man.
appreciate y'all. And I live in Kentucky currently. I know y'all was at Cincinnati, which is
Yeah.
my old stomping grounds there.
Okay.
So if y'all just so happen to go right back there at some point next year, I may have to make a trip to.
Well,
Or we'll
we'll
just come
just
to
come to Kentucky,
Kentucky.
man.
Oh yeah, Louisville.
How about
Yeah,
that?
Louisville. That's a popular spot too. So Louisville, Cincinnati. Yeah, I guess Louisville would be a preference. I mean, either way, it's an hour and a half drive, so it don't even matter. The drive
Okay.
distance
Yeah.
is not that bad. You know. But thank you both for being here. Tell your fellow bandmate I say hello, and maybe we'll cross paths in 2025.
Oh, well, we hope
I hope
so.
so, man.
Y'all take care. Y'all enjoy your fall season.
We will.
And we'll chat again in the foreseeable future. Thank y'all.
Beautiful.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Y'all enjoy your week.
Take care.
All right, bye bye. All right.